off of a long shift. Started at 10:30. It's now about 5:30. I did 4 hours earlier in the day, so what is that? About a 11-hour day right now, and I'm facing 400 push-up workout with a 42.5-pound vest, and it has been about 100 straight days of now being in the routine of doing 3 workouts a day, 1 workout every 8 hours, just about. 1 workout every 8 hours for the last 100 days. Of course, I've done the Murph workout now 1,240 straight days, which is an unofficial world record. There's a few probably around the world that have done the Murph 365 days. I've not heard of anybody who's done it for the 2 years, which is what, 730 days, I think it is, 365 times 2. But all that to say this, that once you realize and come into the revelation that the pathway unto your destiny in any area of life is a clarity of identity, you're no longer looking for a why, you're looking to your who to determine what it is you're called to be doing next. And that's been my question throughout this journey from 2019 to present day, is mastering one thing and then asking myself, what's next? Started off with a treadmill, led me into doing a lot of burpees. I was doing 200, 300, eventually 500 burpee workouts in 2019, just looking to establish a standard, a daily habit of exercise. Wasn't really too focused on the nutritional aspect or even a physique or anything of that nature, nor was I thinking about posting or social media content or serving people like I am now. But it got to the point where by the end of 2019, 3-4 months into it, I asked myself, what's next? And what's next and why? And originally my motivation was to destroy a quitter's mentality. And back in 2008, I actually tried to do 100 burpees a day for 100 days straight and quit at day 88. And I cited a sore shoulder being my reason. In reality, it was just me going back to my default from growing up as a youngster. Was anytime things got hard or painful, it was just easier to quit it than persevere. And so my original why was to destroy a mentality that I saw that ran its course throughout my life of whenever I started something, a major project, a sport, or a business, it was just easier to not push through those difficult times, not persevere, not get better, not rise to the occasion, not allow resistance become my reason rather than my excuse. And so that's what happened. Originally I set out 2020 to do 500 burpees, so I was really looking to annihilate that mentality. And so I was setting out to do what I felt like an impossible task at the time, but I knew already that by the time 2020 came, I had been doing 500 burpees a day for several weeks, for at least 5 to 6 days a week. And so I felt I had primed myself for that task, and that's exactly how it went down. I wasn't thinking so much about a personal identity, though I knew I was answering the warrior's call to destroy that mentality. At that time, my why was to shift my mentality. It wasn't what it is now. And this is kind of how it transpired. About halfway through the year, I felt the Lord convict me of not being a quitter. I felt a release from that mentality and that burden that I was carrying on me. Now I knew showed me that man's why is always some external outcome. God's why is who you become when you believe in Him. So I frame it this way: the man who finds his why and his who is no longer in need of any external motivation. He's no longer in need of some external outcome. That was a major breakthrough in the revelation of God and of myself, is that now I found my why and my who, that I am a child of God and a warrior. And so now all I needed to complete the task of 500 burpees a day for an entire year was every day coming back to the reminder: I am a warrior of God. I am worth keeping this standard of 500 burpees a day. And if who I am doesn't change on a daily, neither does the standard. So God showed me that when you attach your identity to a daily standard, then you can put it in the bank, that it becomes an automatic, actionable item, because you're coming back every day, honoring who you are, knowing you are worth that standard that God has set for you as an expression of who you are as a warrior, as a son of God. And I finished up that year in 2020 doing 500 burpees a day. And even before the end came, the Lord was already showing me what was next, because I'd gotten really good at doing the burpees. There was another challenge, this one seemingly more daunting, was that in 2021 I was setting out to do 300 Murph workouts in 2021, and I didn't know, I didn't do any research on who or what was the record at the time for consecutive days. I wasn't even thinking about consecutive days. I was just thinking, what's next? And excuse me, the Lord showed me 300 Murph workouts. And so I knew that was a major hurdle, because burpees is not running, burpees is not pull-ups, push-ups, or squats. And it certainly wasn't a weighted vest, even though I'd done some of my burpee workouts with a 30-pound weighted vest, because at right about the mid-year mark, I purchased my 30-pound weighted vest. 30 pounds because they ran out of 20. That was during COVID year. Everybody was buying up the weights, and a Murph workout standard is 20-pound vest, 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then another mile run for time. But because 30 was all they had available, I took it as a challenge that I would be doing 300 Murph workouts in 2021 with the 30-pound vest. It was about a $300 investment, and that's how it went down. Started off 2021 doing a 4x4x48 run, which, if you've never heard of it, it's 4 miles every hour on every 4th hour on the hour for 48 hours. So I end up putting in overall 50 miles the first 2 days of 2021, and my legs and my feet were destroyed. I mean, by the time I got to the 6th evolution of this 4x4, I could only walk, and I was in big trouble. I was hurting, and I knew it. And the only days I've ever taken off since 2019 September were 3 days of recovery after this 4x4x48, as I knew I had to get well to be able to begin this Murph journey. And so after getting well, it began that I could not run a Murph workout to full capacity with a 30-pound vest right out of the gate. There was no way I was going to be able to do it. The body did not have the strength to do a full Murph workout with a 30-pound vest, so I knew I had to modify the workout, but I had to get out there and put in my reps, put in my hours, and earn my way to the physical stature and the place where I could do the Murph workout with a 30-pound vest. And it took me about 40 to 45 days. I can't remember the exact day. I don't know if it was 43 or 44 days in. At that point, I was able to do a full-length Murph workout with a 30-pound vest. And the rest is history, as they say. I have not missed a Murph workout since 2021, February. I've been able to do it with the 30-pound vest. I bought and built a 20-pound vest and also a 42.5-pound vest. And all of this has been an outgrowth of an identity. My why has been found in my who, and for no other reason other than it is who I am. Have I done the Murph workout now for over 3 years straight, solely by the virtue of just being in the mindset and the place where I'm more interested in honoring who God has made me and giving Him the reins to showing me how an identity can affect a living destiny, how identity can become the pathway into standards that produce actions on a non-negotiable basis, that over time you're living out your destiny. So that's where we're at with it, to the point where now I'm pulling in my driveway, but just wrap it up. Now that the Lord has shown me this paradigm, I call it the matrix of destiny, that the pathway to your destiny is the clarity of identity. Now, as it is today, we're at 1,240 straight days running the Murph by the grace of God. I call it powered by grace. Grace is the empowerment to establish who I am, and it is also the power unleashed through me to execute why I am. The pathway to destiny is a clarity of identity, and it's all powered by grace. This is a biblical narrative of salvation. It's a restoration of man to his identity through the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. More than forgiveness, more than going to heaven when you die. It is a restoration of man to his original image and his original value, his original standard for living, which is spirit-led, and overall seeing the actions, giving birth to actions that produce an overall destiny. For what purpose? To glorify God, to make Him well known, to make Him look good, that a man will prosper on every level. Prospers, so will you prosper and be in health. So it's soul, it's body, and it's even financial, that Jesus reversed the curse in its entirety, starting with the ground, the body, and then the soul. And so as it is today, the Lord has brought me into a place of a revelation of who I am as a warrior, as a son of God, as a righteous ambassador of Christ. And the physical experience has been continually to grow outward, where I'm not just doing a Murph workout daily, I'm doing 150 burpees, rolling up out of bed, essentially, first thing in the morning. And right now, I'm getting home from my night out. I'm about to do a 42.5-pound vested push-up workout, essentially, to build the guns, to build a more solid frame to build. But ultimately it's to develop the mindset and the mentality of a warrior, of someone who is surrendered and submitted to the leading of the Spirit, to keep myself humble, submissive, surrendered, and available to do what He wants to do, go where He wants to go, see the manifestation of why I am, powered by the grace of God through my vessel, through my life. So hope that blesses you today. I believe that this is the reason why Jesus came, to restore man to this ultimate place of health, where there's a prosperity of the soul through salvation. There's absolutely forgiveness, but more than forgiveness, there's this awareness of who I am through Jesus as an image bearer of God, full of satisfaction, full of peace, full full of joy, righteous in my identity. I'm not worried about sin. There's no runway for sin in my life. I know that He has accepted me. He is pleased with me. And my only concern is to allow Him to bring forth the fruit of what He has done in me through surrender, through submission, powered by that grace of Jesus Christ, which is available in abundance. Romans 5:17, they that receive the abundance of grace and the gift of righteousness shall reign in life by the one Jesus Christ. So as I see it, the only normal thing to do, if you claim to be a believer, is to allow God by His grace and by your righteous identity to bring you into the place of reigning in life. The only normal thing for me as a believer is to show the world what it looks like to be reigning in life in every area. Powered by grace. Have a blessed day.